What's good, everybody? This is what we've all been waiting for. I've been waiting to do this. I am so excited to intellectually challenge all of you guys by also educating you. I want to educate you guys. I'm trying to improve everybody's overall One Piece knowledge. That's the goal here. Hopefully, um, you know, you guys don't get offended, which that's probably going to happen, but it's a part of the process. Growth doesn't growth doesn't happen when you're comfortable. Growth happens when you're uncomfortable. When you go into that deep depths water where you can barely even swim. That's where growth happens. That's where you become a legend, okay? Let's make sure we're actually live. What's good, Ace D Goat of Pirates? Unkie, I know. About time we finally did this. How's everybody's day going? Very soon we're going to be having Christmas. Yes, sir. Buggy at one. Buggy is not even on this list. Okay. I've got Stream Chat pulled up, although it's not popping up on my computer, which is weird. I'm going to have to pull it on my phone, I guess. That's fine. Whatever. Bexer, you have been working on the Mihawk build, right? Yeah, I'll show you the progress later. Big Nose Ah. Okay. Have you been working on the... Yeah, yeah. Am I in school? No, I'm not in school right now. I'm on break. Oh, shoot. Abi is in school. Oh my gosh. L, buddy. No Christmas break is wild. W. Fexington the Third. Okay. Yo, Saya. Thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Wait, what is this? Huh, that's interesting. Since this is also going to be a long form video, I guess I got to do an intro. So I'll start off. Moody, appreciate you, brother. Yo, Christmas coming up. Are you ready? Yes, I'm so ready. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's going to go towards a bunch of Christmas gifts. I actually got my little brother a Luffy Funko Pop for a Christmas gift. And also a One Piece Lego set. They love One Piece. And what else did I get? I got some other things too. I don't remember. Increase your volume. Okay, I got you guys. Let me try to increase the volume. Remember Fexer? Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys don't know, join the Discord. You're going to want to join the Discord because on Christmas Day, we are doing a 100,000 Robux giveaway. And Control Rework is coming out, so. Fexer, you're muted, dude. Enough with this. How about this? Is this better? Is this better? Hello, 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 hello? Is this better? Why do I got to be so close to the mic for the mic to work? Jeez, bro. Is this good? It is out, bro. Yes, I know it's out, but we're saving it for actual Christmas Day. What up, is it key? Shanks is better than Mihawk. You're going to be disappointed by this list. Yes, sir. Okay. Is the audio good? Do I need to check the audio? Moody again! Thank you, bro. I know it's insane. We actually had it gifted to us, so... It was insane. It was a guy named Alan. Apparently, he owns like a pretty popular Roblox game, and he just decided. Apparently, he's a fan of the channel. He's in the Discord, and he just decided, you know what? I like this guy. I'm gonna give him 100K Robux. Obviously, I only get 60K, so it's kind of clickbait. Because Please Donate takes 10% and Roblox takes 30%, so it's a 60K Robux giveaway. But obviously, the 100K is the clickbait part. Still gonna be insane. I've been watching you since 2022. No way, bro. That's awesome. We got an OG. Saskoba, what up? Tanzo, what's good? Haven't seen bro in 2 years? Bro, that's crazy. You know what I found interesting about TikTok is once you follow someone on TikTok, you like don't see them as much. It's a weird thing. It's because to watch people on your following, you have to actually click the following tab, which nobody really does if we're being honest. Maybe once in a while, but most people just watch their For You page. Clickbaiting in the big 2025. Okay, I'm not clickbaiting. I'm exaggerating. Okay, that sounds weird. Mihawk over Emu. We'll get into it. I'm gonna say no. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Anyways, let me do the intro for the YouTube video part. Dude, have you seen your clone? He looks just like you, but he glazes shanks. What? Send it to me in Discord. I'll put it in the chat, the Discord link. Come in the Discord and send it to me. There's no way there's a clone of me that looks... It's like my shanks and Shamrock. There's no way there's a clone that actually glazes shanks. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hold on, let me make my face cam a little bigger. And maybe we can zoom in a little bit more. I guess this is fine. We can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's good. I probably got to adjust the TikTok screen. There we go. Okay. All right, we're good. Your camera quality is genuinely 8K. Thank you, bro. My PC cannot handle this camera. This PC might actually blow up. I need to get my school PC back here. But let's go ahead. Let's do this. Vexer Roman Sensei said Mihawk. Mihawk paints his sword. Shanks uses hockey knots. They're both frauds. Stop. What is this quality? Is it good? What time is the Christmas stream? I don't know yet. It's going to be Christmas Day at nighttime, though. So probably like 8 Central, 6 Central, 7 Central, 6 or 7 Central probably. Something like that. All right, dude, let me do this intro. God. Stop talking to me. I'm just playing. All right. Because none of you guys know... No. Because nobody knows, because none of you guys know how, because none of you guys know how to power scale One Piece characters, I'm here to do the official top 30 strongest ranking of all time. Because none of you guys know how to actually rank One Piece characters correctly, I'm here to do the official top 30 strongest characters. I'm here to do the official top 30 strongest characters of all time. Let's get into it. Chat, you guys don't know you don't have ball knowledge, all right? Let's not act like you guys have ball knowledge, okay? Hey, I know how to power scale. No, you don't, okay? Everybody listen up. When we're starting off with Emu, I don't think there's really any argument for not putting him number 1 of all time, right? This is someone who not only took on Joy Boy, but also Davy D. Jones. Now, we don't know how strong Davy D. Jones was, but if we're going to say he's a parallel to Blackbeard and Roxy Zebek, I think it's safe to say that, Davy Jones is him. He's that guy. Joy Boy level. Which, by the way, I actually don't have Davy Jones on this list, but whatever. We don't even have a character design for him. Emu is going at that number 100 overall spot. I don't think Joy Boy is stronger than... Well, I guess we're about to get into that. But I don't think Joy Boy is stronger than Emu, because if he was, he would have won. I mean, you could say, like, maybe Emu was just using crazy hacks to beat him, but no. I really think Emu is just that guy. Bruce Wayne, what up? What if Emu has 3 kids in a trench coat? What does that have to do with anything? So that being said, Emu is going to be the only 100... Well, maybe Mihawk. No, I'm not playing. It is going to be the only 100 overall character on this list. Is Emu a guy or a girl? We don't know. We have no idea, to be honest. We just don't know. Could be a guy in a girl's body. Pause. Because, the immortality surgery could have been like he has to transfer his brain like Kenjaku into a different body. And maybe he's using Lily's body. We don't know. But, yeah. Okay. Moving on to Joy Boy. I don't think there's... Well, yeah. Moving on to Joy Boy. We're talking about someone with not only... Haki Knot merchant. Okay, let's calm down. He's the one who made the Haki Knot, okay? We're talking about someone with the Haki to send the Gorosei back to the lobby. That's built different. Not only that, it's pretty safe to assume that Joy Boy also had the Nika fruit. So we're talking end of series Luffy level type stuff right here. I mean, maybe Luffy surpasses him a little bit, but he's on that level, okay? I'm going to go 99. I'm not going to put him above Emu. I think Emu, like I've said, Emu's hacks, if you want to say Emu's a hacks merchant, go for it, but this is someone who has access to the literal underworld to summon demons. I don't think anybody can really compete with that. Joy Boy, I mean, I guess with the Nika powers, he could compete with that if he imagined so. But no, he's going 99. I'm putting him below Emu. I think it's going to take Luffy and Blackbeard, Joy Boy and Davy Jones to take down Emu. And so, with that reasoning, he's going to go 99. Okay? Next, we've got another legend, Ryuma. I do think Ryuma is not Joy Boy level. Let's get that out of the way, okay? Ryuma is the parallel to Zoro, obviously. And I don't think Zoro's going to be on Luffy's level end of series. He'll be near, but he won't be Luffy's level, because if we just think logically about this, Luffy's got the Haki of Zoro plus an extremely broken Devil Fruit. It's not exactly fair. So I think a safe bet for Ryuma is 97 to 98 overall. What are we thinking, chat? 98 or 97? Yeah, I'm thinking the same exact thing, to be honest. I think we leave a little bit of room for 98 because we've got up next Mihawk! Go-Hawk! Who, by the way, is going to be stronger than Ryuma. Not is going to be. Is already stronger than Ryuma. And so if Zoro needs to surpass Mihawk, Zoro's going to need a little bit of room to also surpass Ryuma. Okay? Mihawk at 93. So can we get a ban on Adam in the chat? That's not true whatsoever. Let me go ahead and explain why Mihawk is above Ryuma, okay? This is not glaze whatsoever. We can talk about this all we want. This is easy. Mihawk, I've come to the conclusion, by the way, that Mihawk was never a Holy Knight, okay? I actually think he might have been a descendant of the Nerona family. However, I don't think he was ever a Holy Knight. I think he actually might have been a slave. And he picked up that celestial dragon lingo from being a slave. Like, he calls people rabbits, hunting rabbits. That's a very celestial dragon thing to say. I think he actually picked that up from being a slave. And I think that's why he has such a big grudge against the Marines. And it's seemingly the world government as well. And that being said, we don't know for sure if he forged the Black Blade Yoru. Okay, I'll give you that. What I will say, though, is that he's the only one in the series that we know is capable of wielding that blade. He's got the title World's Strongest Swordsman, straight from Oda's mouth. That puts him above Shanks, someone with extremely strong Haki. No matter what you want to say, if you want to say Shanks is stronger, you're coping, number one. But number two, it's not by much, if you're going to believe that, okay? So, this is also the guy who taught Zoro a lot of what he knows, and Zoro grew exponentially. So, Mihawk, it only makes sense for him to be above Ryuma, especially with those eyes, and if we're going to say he's a Nerona descendant, yeah, he's going to have some extremely cracked bloodline traits. He's going at 98 overall. I don't think he's above Joy Boy. I do want to put him 99, but no, he's not. I don't think he's above Joy Boy. 98 is where he's going. Someone on Earth. Thank you, brother. I'm the strongest. I mean, if you're someone on Earth, it's possible. You could be somebody who's strong. Mihawk 101 or no deal? I know, I just have to be politically correct for the video, unfortunately. We can't put him at 101. Then why Mihawk with Marines and Marineford? He should have been against them since he's a slave. You can argue that, but I think Mihawk kind of explained this already. He was a warlord who decided to work with the world government so that they would stop chasing him and so that he didn't have to chase them. Because a lot of people think that when he joined the Warlords, it was to avoid being chased by the Marines. Buddy, his nickname was the Marine Hunter. Who do you think was really being chased? I think the Marines would have been more terrified. And so it was actually a good deal for both of them. The Marines weren't getting slaughtered anymore, and Mihawk gets to live in peace in his castle by himself. I think that's a pretty fair deal. Anyways, next up we've got the red-haired rat. I mean Shanks. And look, this might actually surprise you guys, but I do have him in a similar tier to Mihawk, okay? I actually have him, I'll say this. I think his hockey is on, if not slightly below, the level of Joy Boy. However, he's also missing the Nika fruit, so he's not going to be Joy Boy level. But he's definitely he's on that level hockey-wise of Joy Boy. And so I don't think it'd be crazy to put him 98 overall. I do think he's above Ryuma. I don't know if I'd put him in the same. You know what? We can move him around later. We'll put him right below Mihawk for now. We'll put him below Mihawk, but we could move him down to 97 potentially, depending on how this ranking ends up ending. I found your clone. His name is Inferno J. Buddy, I know who Inferno J is. I've done multiple videos with him. What are you talking about? What we ranking? This is the top 30 strongest characters of all time. All-time list right here. Next, we've got Shanks' twin, Shamrock. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to think that I'm going to put Shamrock above Shanks. I don't think that's true. I don't think Shamrock is above Shanks. I don't think Oda would just now introduce a Shanks twin that also is stronger than him because of the Devil Fruit, the Cerberus Fruit. I don't think that's why he'd be stronger. I do think he's got really good hockey because he's potentially either a Davy Clan descendant or, if you saw my theory, a Joy Boy descendant. That's why I think Shanks has extremely cracked hockey. But I don't think that the Devil Fruit will make up for the hardships that Shanks has had to go through. I think Shamrock being at 97 is perfect. He's the leader of the Holy Knights. I don't think he's going to be a fraud like his father, Garling. Which, by the way, Garling's realistically not a fraud. He just went up against Roxy Zebek, which I think a lot of people would get one-tapped by Roxy Zebek. He literally has Cerberus Sword. Yeah, and I get it. And I think he's actually, the way he was pressing Loki, he was like, bro, even if you were out of those chains, I'd still clap you, which that's some crazy confidence. And Shamrock is calculated. I don't think he's saying that like out of overconfidence. I think he knows where he stands. And this is someone who clashed with Shanks. We could say that maybe Shanks wasn't someone on Earth. Thank you, bro. It's almost Christmas. Appreciate the Christmas present, bro. We could say that maybe Shanks wasn't taking the duel too seriously. He didn't want to show that he was over-leveled or whatever, but I don't think that was the case. I just think Shamrock is like that. Could be because of genetics. I think he's going to go... Ryuma is so hard to power scale. I'm going to put him above Ryuma for now. I'm going to put him above Ryuma. Yeah. I think it's a really good spot, 97 overall. The rest of the Holy Knights is the Sword God, bro. I get it, but the thing is, Ryuma, from what we know, feat-wise, like at least with Joy Boy, we have the hockey knot thing that we can at least base. Like he said, this is my strongest hockey, and it clearly was. Whereas with Ryuma, what's his greatest feat? Slaying a dragon? It's not exactly telling for what he's actually like. And plus, I think Mihawk is stronger than him. So. Also, you gotta remember, Ryuma's sword. Swords do matter, guys. Okay, Ryuma's sword, although it's a black blade, I don't think it's a supreme grade. I don't think it's a supreme grade sword. Ryuma's sword is actually very mid, I think. It's only good because it's a black blade. Whereas Mihawk's blade is good regardless of it being black. It being black just makes it even stronger. So, why Joy Boy under Emu? Because although we don't have Davy Jones on this list, just because we don't even have a picture of him, Davy Jones presumably was fighting alongside Joy Boy. Or maybe not. Maybe that's why Joy Boy lost, because Davy Jones wasn't fighting alongside. But my headcanon is that Davy Jones and Joy Boy both fail to take down Emu, just because I think Luffy and Blackbeard are also going to fight together to take down Emu. God Usopp number 1. It's not happening, bro. Ron Storm, I appreciate that, though. Moving on, we've got Mr. Look 2D East. Monkey D. Dragon. This guy, you know what? I think you guys are also going to be surprised what my take is on Dragon. Yeah. 98 overall and stronger than Shanks. Now, you got to hear me out on this one, okay? Not only is he a Monkey D clan member, he's part of that family, that monkey family where Garp is like that, Luffy's like that. Dragon has a devil fruit, number 1, that we don't know of, okay? He's one of the only characters in the entire series to outright go, yes, I get it, he's feetless, but he's the only character we know to outright challenge the world government, okay? You gotta have an insane willpower / haki to do that, all right? No screen time? Listen, the fact that we've gotten more Shanks screen time than Dragon is actually telling. Because I think Oda's been saving characters that are really strong because they have no purpose early game in the story for the end. Because they don't, if he showed them too soon, it wouldn't make any sense. It'd be like, why isn't this character moving any sooner? Dragon is like that. He's from Monkey D. Dragon. He's from the Monkey D. Garp bloodline. And he's got an insanely cracked Devil Fruit. So we've got Haki and Devil Fruit. I think that's enough to put him above Shanks. You could even argue above Mihawk. I'm not going to do that, though, because I do think Mihawk is stronger. But you could argue it. You could make the argument for it, and I wouldn't be too mad, to be honest. Mr. No Screen Time above Shanks. Think about it like this. We've seen a Shanks named attack before a Monkey D. Dragon name attack. Before a Monkey D. Dragon attack, first of all. Okay? That should tell you that Monkey D. Dragon is going to be like that. Straw Hats declared war at the world government. That is true. But I'm not talking about the Straw Hats right now. Like I said, he's one of the only characters to outright go against the world government. Straw Hats, I still wouldn't say they're outright against the world government. They're just mad at the world government for stealing Nico Robin and all the other messed up things. But yeah, Dragon's going to have to go 98 overall. Above Shanks. Next. Doesn't Dragon have an elemental fruit? That's the theory. We don't know for sure, though. That's the theory, though. It's a good theory. Could see it being the wind fruit. Next up. We've got Roxy Zebek. Now, I do think you guys are going to be... I keep saying this, but I think it's because you guys perceive me as just a straight-up Mihawk laser. Look, when it comes to a legitimate ranking, I still am glazing Mihawk in a way, but I think this is an objective ranking. I think, you know what's crazy is that you guys say I'm a Mihawk laser, but I think I'm actually pretty objective with where I have Mihawk. And where I'm going to put Rox is not above Mihawk, not above Dragon, and not above Shanks. He's going to go 98 overall, though. I do think he's stronger than Shamrock. However, unless it's revealed that Roxy Zebek also had a Devil Fruit, which, by the way, we didn't get any confirmation of that during God Valley, he's going to sit below Shanks. I think a lot of people underestimate the fact that Shanks... Look, Shanks is not Luffy's goal, but I do think Shanks is going to have to be someone that Luffy fights in order to get the One Piece. Maybe if it's just even a test. I think that Shanks having insane haki is the test for me. He's going to be like a stepping stone for Luffy. As crazy as that sounds... If you noticed what the Giants mentioned, new gen beats old gen, that's what I'm saying, bro. If you noticed what what the Giants were saying about Shanks' hockey, they didn't mention when they compared Shanks' hockey to Joy Boy's hockey. They said that there's no hostility to it, unlike Shanks' hockey, which kind of implies like, okay, they could see how Shanks maybe has a similar level of hockey power-wise, but he lacks control of his hockey. I think hockey control is where, I wouldn't say he's hockey deficient, but I'd say he's not mastered. And I think Rox is in a similar situation where he has a lack of control. And so I think Luffy's going to have to master that control, which is what's going to get him above Shanks. Bro, it took Garp and Roger to beat Rox. This is true, however, I think you're forgetting the fact that Rox was amped by being Domi reversied. So I'm not counting that version of Rox. If we're counting that version of Rox, I mean, we could argue that he's like Joy Boy level, realistically. But no, Domi reversied Rox, I mean, you're amped by Emu. That's going to be a little bit crazy. Now, like I said, I could be proven wrong if if he has a devil fruit. Like I think a lot of people said he has the Ope Ope. If he does, I mean, that changes things a little bit, I'd say. If Shanks' hockey lacks control, why did he Wi-Fi hockey in Admiral? You know what? That is actually a really good point. And so maybe it's not a lack of control. Maybe Shanks is purposefully, maybe, you know what? Maybe he doesn't lack control. Maybe he's just hostile because he has the blood of Garling. And so he's like a little bit, and he's lived a pretty, I wouldn't say he's been like a joyful guy like Joy Boy, you perceive Joy Boy. So maybe he's just not a joyful guy, and maybe that's the difference that Oda was trying to show us, is that Shanks is not Joy Boy. Maybe he's this descendant from Joy Boy, but he's not Joy Boy. And so maybe that's the difference. Maybe it's not a lack of control. Either way, the hockey power, I think it's enough to put him above Rox Diesebek. And I get Rox clashed with both Roger and Garp. I get it. But it's not enough. It's not enough. Also, let's remember, I get it was Prime Roger, Prime Garp, but I don't think it's the strongest version of Roger. And I don't think it's the strongest version of Garp either. I think they got a little bit stronger after that clash. I mean, anytime you have a hockey clash like that, you get a little bit stronger. So let's move on. Mihawk over Dragon, though. You know, that's what I'm saying. If you want to put Dragon over Mihawk, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd just be like, no, my bias says Mihawk. That's literally what it comes down for that. Let's move on. Next up, we've got King Harold. King Harold's another really interesting one. This is a guy... Now, we could have a real serious argument that King Harold's stronger than Rox Diesebek. Okay. Let's think about this logically. He's not only just physically stronger, he's not only an ancient giant, but he's also someone who became a Holy Knight. And so it's a little bit different than we're talking with how, you know, Rox Diesebek, how I said I'm not counting his Domi Reversi form. King Harold legitimately became a Holy Knight and gained the hacks of the Holy Knights, on top of already clashing with Rox Diesebek in the past. Guys, where's Panda Man? Zebek beat Harold. I mean, you can say that, but I would say they're pretty evenly matched, and I think Harold kind of let Zebek beat him. I think they're pretty even. And I think, like, bro, King Harold was the strongest Holy Knight of all time. Is this rage bait? How is this rage bait? He's an ancient giant. He clashed with King Harold. This guy, and he became a Holy Knight afterwards. The clash with King Harold was before. We're talking about basically an immortal... We're talking about immortal King Harold. That's ridiculous. Harold is above Zebek. I'm saying it. And would I put him above Shanks? Current timeline Shanks, dude, there's a real serious argument for it, dude. Because I think a lot of people are just forgetting that this guy was on a Roxy Zebek level before even becoming a Holy Knight. And we just saw in the previous chapter that although it's not the strongest version of Shanks, Shanks is not able to do anything to King Harold. This guy is built different. I think putting him above Roxy Zebek is fair. I won't go any higher than that, although there's a serious argument to put him higher. I don't deny that. Where's Luffy? You put Kaido? They're on. You can't see them on the TikTok because it's just off screen, but they're there. Don't worry. All right. What do you mean hacks don't count? I'm not counting Roxy Zebek. Here's the difference. Roxy Zebek was not a Domi Reversied amped version of himself for a substantial period enough of time to actually be considered, okay, that's like his prime. Whereas Harold was a Holy Knight for, I think, over a year, maybe even 2 years. Like, the dude was a Holy Knight for a while, and I think that's enough to put him even higher. I mean, the guy had a nickname. It was like something in a mist, Demon of the Mist or something like that. Harold, like, bro, Ancient Giant, clashed with Roxy Zebek, also immortal. Come on. Rox is above Shanks. If you want to say Rox is above Shanks, I think it's fair. However, I'd really wait to see if he has a Devil Fruit. If he has a Devil Fruit, then we can start considering that more seriously. Child of Destiny for a reason. That's fair. I do think he's a Joy Boy descendant. However, I think Mihawk's a Nerona descendant, aka Emu descendant. Which, I mean, if you're looking at purely the bloodlines, that would make Mihawk stronger. So, webcam looks good, broski. Thank you, bro. We're going to do Fraud Roger? Yeah. Let's move on to Roger. Because we could talk about King Harold for a while. He's a very interesting character. I mean, if we're talking about ideology-wise, yeah, he's unfortunate, to be honest. I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to save his country, but it's just he's going about it a little bit of the wrong way. Thoughts on the theory that Luffy is Joy Boy from the future? I actually at first was kind of opposed to it, but it started to grow on me. I actually kind of want it to be true, but I don't think it will be, unfortunately. So, yeah. Prime Roger over Rox. So, we can genuinely have this conversation. Roger, I do think is stronger than... See, here's the thing with Ryuma, guys. Like, I think he's stronger than Ryuma. Is he stronger than Shamrock? I don't know, man. I think it's real. I think it's a lot closer than people think. If we want to say he's stronger than Shamrock, that's fine. If we want to say he's stronger than Shamrock, that's completely cool. I think it's a lot closer than people think, though, because let's think about if Shamrock has not the same level of hockey as Shanks, obviously, but comparable hockey, but also a demon devil fruit in his sword, and also immortality from Emu. I think people are forgetting that the hacks are like just that crazy. I think we can put him above Shamrock because he's got hockey like that. I'll put him above Shamrock. I wouldn't put him above Roxy Zebek just because there's potential that Roxy Zebek also could have had a Devil Fruit. There's potential that he could have also had a Devil Fruit. And like we said in the past, it took Roger and Garp fighting, yes, an amped Roxy Zebek, I will say that, an amped Roxy Zebek to take down Rox. Do I really think Mihawk beats Roger? Guys, I'm not trolling when I say this. I think it's objective reality, and it only makes sense that Mihawk would beat Roger. And I know that sounds crazy because people have their bias that Roger's the strongest because he's the king of the pirates, but I think people just don't understand the factor of bloodlines, the fact that Mihawk's from the Nerona family, supposedly, we don't know this for sure, but he has the emu eyes, okay, we know that, and the fact that he has the strongest sword in the world. I just don't think people will get that. And we're talking about, yes, I understand he got the title of World's Strongest Swordsman after Roger. I completely understand that. But I just think that the current gen is stronger than Roger. Roger downplay? I don't think this is Roger downplay. I just think Shanks surpassed his mentor, his teacher. And I think that these two are stronger than Shanks. Look, if we're going about this logically, let's say Shanks surpassed Roger, right? Why would I not have these two also above Roger? I mean, they're above Shanks. It is a Shanks upscale. I know it was an Amped Rocks. I know it was an Amped Rocks. This is actually Roger downplay. It's not Roger downplay. It's not. King Harold was someone with this. Okay, not same. We'll just go slightly. No, it was the same. King Harold is someone with the same level of hockey as Roxy Zebek. Plus, he was a Holy Knight, which gives him hacks. Roger is someone with, let's say Prime Roger was the same level of hockey as Rox, okay? Like, the strongest version of Roger was on a similar level of hockey as Rox. Rox has the potential to also have a Devil Fruit. I think Rox deserves to be here. Shanks, I truly believe with my whole heart, is not only a descendant of Joy Boy or of some sort of elite bloodline. I think he surpassed his mentor and teacher. I think he surpassed his mentor and teacher. All right, let's move on to Garp. Rox isn't close to Roger, though. Look, like I said, I don't think Roger got, like, I do acknowledge that he got stronger after God Valley, but I think that Rox was already a little bit stronger at God Valley than Roger and Garp. I don't think they were equals. I think Rox was a little bit stronger. And so I think Roger and Garp getting a little bit stronger after God Valley, hockey-wise, kind of evened the playing field and made them equal to what Rox was. If you want to say they're stronger, that's fine, but I still think there's room for Rox to have had a Devil Fruit. I think part of the reason why we couldn't have seen it is that Emu took him over and didn't use it. So, Garp is next. And I wouldn't put him above Roger. I think they're equals, realistically. I think they're equals. I think if you wanted to have him over Roger, that's fine. If you want to have him below, it's fine. I think it's really about preference with this one. Because they're, narratively speaking and feats-wise, they're pretty much equal. They're pretty equal. I think you could argue maybe Garp has a little bit more destructive power because of Galaxy Impact, but I think putting him above or below Roger doesn't really matter. I think we can all agree they're pretty much equals, okay? Not really much of a debate. Unless you want to say the monkey bloodline is special, then we could have a little bit of a debate there. But no, I think this is a perfect spot for Garp right here. Who's the third person on 93? I'm blind. There's nobody in 93 right now. Oh, Big Mom. I feel like Roger couldn't reach his peak because of his disease. That's also completely possible, too. It's very possible. All right. Next, this one's going to piss a lot of people off. We've got Whitebeard. Now, I used to believe, okay, you just hear me out on this one. I used to believe that Whitebeard was same hockey level as Roger, plus he also has the Quake Fruit. He's got to be stronger than Roger. I don't think that's the case anymore. It could very well be the case, but I don't think he's stronger than Roger. I don't believe that anymore. I used to believe that. He got scarred by someone, and he said that the face of the person that scarred him reminded him of Shanks. I think a prime suspect for that used to be Garling in my head, but since it didn't happen at God Valley, I believe it's Shamrock. It could have been Garling, very well, but I think it's Shamrock. And I think that's why Whitebeard had mentioned that face makes my scar ache. I think it was Shamrock. This being all said, I get Roger. Okay, here's the thing with Whitebeard, right? The feats that we've seen, I think he's an Advanced Conqueror's user. He's got armament, obviously, observation. He's got Conquerors. However, we didn't see him utilize Conquerors in a way like Shanks, where he can Wi-Fi hockey people. You ended the TikTok live, bro? I did? That wasn't intentional. Streamlabs access suspended. Okay, well, it got suspended for some reason. I don't know why. Whatever. We'll have to continue. But am I saying Harold was the strongest in the world at one point? I mean, hey, yeah, technically I am. Yes, I am. That is true. Unintentionally, I wasn't really thinking about that, but yeah. So what I'm getting at with Whitebeard, though, let's get to Whitebeard. Whitebeard is someone who I don't think his will was to have a family. That's what he wanted. And because his ambition was so low, obviously it's not so low, but you get what I'm saying. In comparison to these other guys, where this guy's ambition was the world, this guy's ambition was his country, but he's also ancient giant and amped by being a holy knight. We don't know his ambition. His ambition's crazy, take down the world government. His ambition is a little odd, but we get the picture. Okay, you guys get what I'm getting at here. Joy Boy, Emu, okay. His ambition is kind of low in comparison. Now, it still was hard to get there to where it was. And so I think above Shamrock, but below Garp is fair. I mean, think about it, guys. If Shamrock was the one to scar Whitebeard, there's some genuine arguments that we could have that Shamrock's above Whitebeard. I think we need to get that confirmed. But for now, we'll have Whitebeard below Roger and Garp. And I get it with the whole Devil Fruit thing. I'm not factoring in the Devil Fruit. I really am factoring in the Devil Fruit. I think these guys' hockeys are just that goated. Is the stream lagging right now? I think the stream is lagging. Are we good? No? We're good? Okay. Alright, perfect. Alright, we can move on then. So yeah, Whitebeard is below Roger and Garp. Let's move on to Kaido. This is another guy that I've changed my opinion on heavily. Heavily changed my opinion on, because when Kaido said hockey transcends all, I didn't really take it too seriously. I'm not going to lie. I've come around to that a little bit more. Kaido's hockey. Okay, we can go through this. He's an Oni, right? Extremely durable. Probably of ancient giant blood descent, plus human. Extremely cracked Devil Fruit, boosts his durability even more. And on top of that, he does have all three types of hockey. On paper, Kaido should have been one of, if not the strongest characters in the entire verse. I don't think he's on that level anymore. I used to believe that. But I think it's more so due to the fact that there's levels to this hockey stuff. He doesn't have that Joy Boy kind of hockey like Shanks does, okay? Now, would I put him above Whitebeard? Would I put him above Shamrock? No, I really wouldn't. Honestly, I think this is where we start stepping into the 96s. I think we start stepping into 96s right here. I think he's a 96 overall. Super strong, really high potential. I don't think he lived up to his potential. He's a potential man. And that's crazy to say, right? YP Videos, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate you. Shamrock has literally 0 feats. I mean, so does Dragon. It's narrative, really. It's really narrative. Bray, thank you for following on Twitch. Kaido literally fought the whole main cast. See, okay. And I understand what people are saying when, okay, listen. I get Kaido literally ran the gauntlet against, it was a 1v20, right? 20v1. King of an Empty Castle, thank you for following. I get that he ran the gauntlet. What I'm saying is that Kaido is built for those type of interactions because he's so durable. I think someone like Shanks, I don't know if he could run a gauntlet like that, but I also don't think he's built for those type of interactions. I just think he's stronger on a 1v1 type of battlefield, right? I don't think Shanks would allow himself to go through a 1v20 type of scenario either. I think he's too smart and too calculated. Same thing with Mihawk. Maybe Dragon could run that thing, but depending on his Devil Fruit. King Harold could probably run a gauntlet like that. Rocks, you could argue for it. So like what I'm getting at is like Kaido is just built for that type of interaction, right? He's built for the 1v20s. That doesn't make him stronger than all of these characters. While holding an island and drunk. First of all, holding an island, I can acknowledge is tough, maybe draining. But I think that's really only draining his stamina from his Devil Fruit. And I don't think it was anything too significant. As crazy as it sounds, it just goes to show how strong he is, really. But I don't think it was really draining his stamina all that much. Even if it was, that goes to show you that his battle IQ is kind of like he wants to lose. Like, I can't get past the mindset, guys. We can say he's a potential man all we want, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the mindset to be king of the pirates, you're not going to be. It's unfortunate. Like I said, he was one of my favorites on paper, but I don't think he's going to be a 97, 98 level character. All right, we're going to move on. Kyle, thank you for following on the Twitch. Appreciate you, brother. Where's Gunko? Not on the list. Not on the list. Moving on. We've got Big Mom, another disappointment / potential woman. Potential man. Yes, prime Big Mom, we could argue, is stronger than current Big Mom, although I don't know if it's by much or if at all. I think the Devil Fruit is really cracked. I think the Haki, there's a lack of control there. So like with Haki, or like with Shanks, how we were talking about how Shanks lacks control, which might not even be true. Big Mom most definitely lacks control. I mean, we see her going crazy over a picture being broken of Mother Carmel. That's a complete lack of control. And that's why she wasn't able to ascend to those different levels of Haki. I do think endurance-wise and durability-wise, top 1 literally could be over Kaido. Could be. There's an argument for it. I would still have Kaido a little bit over her, durability-wise. But if you want to have Big Mom over it, I won't be like, oh, you're crazy. Like, it's very, very possible. Is she a whole overall lower than Kaido? That feels a little bit harsh to put her a whole overall lower than Kaido. But honestly, from what we saw, and even in God Valley, she didn't really do anything. Like, from what we saw, I think it's completely fair to put her a whole overall below Kaido. If you want to have her here, that's fine with me as well. But I don't think it's crazy to have her 95 overall. How about we rank the rest of this list, and then we can also move around some people afterwards. She did a move to Garp and it did nothing. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's not like she's ever been... Like, okay. She is a great pirate. That was like her title card, I'm pretty sure. She's a great pirate. And her stats are off the they're off. It's the same thing with Kaido. I think actually Oda did this on purpose with Kaido and Big Mom to show that potential is not everything, and that you need to have mental fortitude and you need to have the ambition of someone who wants to become Pirate King, because Haki, like Kaido said, transcends all. It really does, up to a certain point, because then when you have a certain devil fruit, it can help you a lot. It's possible that Kaido never beat her because she still felt respect for her. It's very possible. Next, we've got Rayleigh. I think Rayleigh is very interesting. I think Rayleigh is. I think when people say that Rayleigh's on the same level as Roger, I don't think they mean that literally. Like, because people always say Luffy and Zoro and Sanji are on the same level. That is not meant to be literal. I think that's more meant to be status wise. Like, they're the monster trio, right? Same thing here with Rayleigh. Like, I don't think anybody's going to say that Ben Beckman is on the same level as Shanks, right? And Rayleigh is someone who, well, he got the prize at God Valley. He got the One Piece. He got Shaggy. Yo, Jude, what up? Rayleigh is like a 90 respectfully. I wouldn't go that low. I don't think he's that low. I do think he's below Big Mom, actually. I think he's below Big Mom. I don't think he got to the levels of Ryuma, obviously. I don't think he got to Ryuma level. I don't think he got even to Kaido's level. I do think there's a substantial... Like, let's think about this, guys. Luffy end of series versus Zoro and Sanji end of series. Luffy end of series is going to be someone with stronger Haki, maybe by a little bit, than Zoro, but also a God Devil Fruit. And so by that logic, I also think, although Roger didn't have that Devil Fruit, I do think there's a little bit of a gap between Roger and Rayleigh. Okay? I don't think it's like a crazy gap, but I do think there's a substantial gap. We'll go 94 overall. I don't think he's over Big Mom. It's possible that he is. It is very possible. But for the sake of this list, Big Mom also has a Devil Fruit. Maybe because she lacks control of Haki, you could argue it, but I'm going to go 94 overall until we see more from Rayleigh, because we didn't really get a lot from Rayleigh during God Valley. We didn't. We got him saving Shaki. That's what he was focused on. And he accomplished his mission. We'll give him that. Also, let's think about what Rayleigh, like, his ambition is. We don't even know. We don't even know what his ambition is. We have no idea. Is it just baddies? It's possible. But like Roger had a goal of traveling across the entire world and finding the One Piece, right? Not even intentionally, but he did that. It was just a travel the globe. Rayleigh, I don't think ever said he wanted to be the world's strongest swordsman. He just used swords. He was just bored. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just wants to chill. Next, we've got Blackbeard. Now, this one is super tough to rank. It's super tough to rank because on screen, he's this coward. He doesn't even deserve to be a 90 overall if he's on screen. He's a Devil Fruit only user. We've never even seen him really use Haki. The issue I have with that is that anytime it's off screen, this dude turns up. Anytime it's off screen, he turns into an absolute beast that Shanks is, I wouldn't say afraid of, but cautious of, for sure. Cautious of, for sure. And I think that it might have something to do with the fact that maybe he has multiple souls. Maybe Roxy Zebek is living within him. Maybe he has Roxy Zebek within his Devil Fruit. Maybe in the black hole, in the void. Like, there's something to him that allows him to ascend to these greater heights. Let's think about this, though. if I were to see him, if I were to imagine him in a 1v1 versus Kaido, if he were to 1v1 Kaido, would he win? I can't really imagine it, but I also can't imagine it because I just can't, I don't know what happens off screen. I don't know what's happening off screen. He got beaten by Beppo. Bro, the moment that the Law fight went off screen, Law was in a pack and the entire crew was just eviscerated. Okay? So I get that he nearly lost to Beppo, but that's just a stupid argument because off screen, he just completely destroyed the entire crew. I do think so. He's someone that still has some room to grow as well. Like I do think he's going to get another Devil Fruit by the end of the series. So I don't think he's end of series power level yet. But I just don't know what his hockey is like. And this is why it's really difficult with Blackbeard. I'm going to go. I do think he is stronger than Big Mom. Might be crazy to say, but I do think he's stronger than Big Mom. I'm going to go 95. Upper 95, but it's really difficult, bro. It honestly is because we just don't know what his hockey's like. But the fact that Shanks is someone who's wary of him, stronger than Big Mom, yes. I know it's crazy. Why can't I put it in? Pause. I know it's crazy, but he's far from being end of series. That is possible that he could still be far away. But I do think he's on a similar path as Luffy. And so with that logic being, Luffy's, I would say he's still got a good amount of room to grow, hockey-wise and Devil Fruit-wise. But I also think that 4 overalls from 95 to 99 is a pretty reasonable growth path from now to the end of the series. You know? Rayleigh is also someone who said that, I know he's not in his prime, obviously, but Rayleigh is someone who said that he would have lost to Blackbeard, okay? I just think that Blackbeard doesn't take risks like that. Especially against an old legend, he's not going to take a risk like that, right? Blackbeard's really difficult, guys. I want to say that Blackbeard is really difficult because you can also argue that Blackbeard is actually higher, depending on what you think happens off screen. I'm gonna leave him there for now. Next, we've got Loki, one of my favorite characters, bro. One of the best backstories, although it's tragic. All the One Piece backstories that are extremely goated are always tragic. He's one of the best characters, backstory-wise. Guys, let me run through the Loki stat line, okay? He is the potential man. You thought Kaido was the potential man on paper? Loki is like that, and even more, actually. And he's also got the mindset to back it up, okay? Loki. Ancient Giant Descent. Special Eyes. Legendary Mythical Elbaf Devil Fruit. The Ragnir Hammer, which also, we don't know for sure, but also probably has a Devil Fruit within it. A legendary Devil Fruit at that. Guys, this might be kind of insane to say, but I think there's a serious talk to have between Loki and Herald. Maybe the fact that that Herald is amped by Holy Knight power, that's why he's so much higher. He did a Kaido level feat as a newborn. 1 second old, the dude fell from heaven to the underworld and took basically no damage. Then also defeated, as a newborn infant at 1 second years old, defeated a bunch of the underworld beasts. Is this glaze? I mean, you guys are saying it's glaze. I'm saying this is just reality. This is what happened. This dude, like, I don't think that's glaze. I also do think he put in the most work against Herald, like Saskoba is saying. I think that Shanks and Gaban not being able to damage him, and then Loki also being the one to have killed Herald, probably was still all 3 of them fighting him, but the one to actually have done the most, I think that's a very serious feat. Is the Sky Island taller than the tree? I mean, we don't know We don't know, but I would assume it is. I would assume it is. But we don't know that to be for sure. Although that tree is pretty massive. Regardless, he's a newborn, guys. Like, let's not forget that. Like legit 1 second years old. I don't think it would be crazy to say that Loki. We don't know his hockey. I'll say that. We do not know his hockey, but I think it's pretty safe to assume that he's pretty cracked hockey wise. However, I don't think he's Shamrock level. I think that Shamrock in that interaction was implying that he could beat Loki. It could be overconfidence. I don't think it's overconfidence. I think Shamrock genuinely believes it. If you want to say Loki over Shamrock, though, I would not be mad whatsoever. Saint Jupiter, thank you for the dono. Jupiter better be strongest one here. We are not ranking Jupiter as a solo. We're not ranking Jupiter as a solo. We're going to rank the Gorosei soon, though. Uncle Kizaru. Loki above Roger, though? Dude, there's potential for it. There really is. I don't think it'd be insane to say. Uncle Kizaru, what up, bro? 150k subscribers, by the way. In the chat? Dude, here's the thing, though. I think Loki is stronger than Whitebeard. But I think he's weaker than Shamrock. So, should we move Shamrock up above Whitebeard? Maybe we should just leave it like this. Remember when I said Kaido is the strongest? Yes, I know, bro. Raouf. What up, bro? I know. It's really tough with Loki, bro. Because if we're thinking about mythical devil fruit, his hammer's got a devil fruit, he's an ancient giant, he's got insane hockey, he's got everything. Oda literally said, yeah, give this man everything. Oh. Shamrock over Kaido is crazy. I don't think it's that crazy. I actually think that it's very possible that Shamrock was the one who went to go stop Kaido. And that Kaido putting Shanks in his top 5 didn't really have anything to do with Shamrock stopping him, because obviously it wouldn't have been based off of that interaction. I think it more so had to do with the fact that he's seen Shanks and Mihawk go at it before. Highest you could put Shamrock is 93. You're tripping, bro. Rox is stronger than Dragon all the way? I don't think so. I don't think Rox was able to reach his full potential because he got taken out too soon. We're gonna leave Loki here. Oh man, I really want to put him higher though, but we're gonna have to leave him there. Okay, we're gonna move on. Akainu. This one's gonna be a super unpopular opinion, but you guys need to hear it because it's the truth. It's not a lie. It's the truth. Akainu is the strongest Marine of all time. Meboss, what's good? He's the strongest Marine of all time. That means he's got same level, if not stronger hockey than Garp. Because let's think about this. Akainu could have his will broken in the final war because he realizes that the world government is a bunch of frauds and they're not exactly for justice like he believes. But as of right now, he's got to be one of the strongest willed characters in the entire series. One of the strongest, if not the strongest willed characters in the entire series. Nothing will stop him from his absolute justice. You want to also factor in the fact that he has the Magma Devil Fruit. That's someone with willpower and hacks. And he also can't be controlled by Emu, like the other Holy Knights with Shamrock. We're going to go. We're going to go. Honestly, we're going to go up here. We're going to go up there. Oh my god, I know people are gonna go crazy on this one. No, everybody's gonna say this is rage bait, dude. I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe this. I'm not trying to rage bait or anything. This is what I believe. Okay, I'm putting him above Roxy Zabek. Yo. Oh my gosh. Dude, it's not rage bait. It's not rage bait. You guys saying he would get cooked by Prime Garp and Prime Roger. Dude, he's someone with similar hockey. I know it's not confirmed, but you guys got to think narratively. Think narratively. Remember, One Piece is not all about power scaling and the feats that we've seen on screen. Narratively, he's someone that hockey-wise, we're expecting to be on the similar level of Roger, of Garp, of Whitebeard, of these top-tier characters. You also add in he has the most destructive Devil Fruit in the entire series, like, bro. Old Whitebeard made him bleed, though. I mean, you can say that, but also, Old Whitebeard was not a scrub, number one. I wouldn't say he's in his prime, but he's not a scrub. He's still Whitebeard, right? Number two, I don't think that was Prime Akainu that we were seeing. I think Prime Akainu has had an insane hockey bloom after the 10-day battle with Aokiji, who's, by the way, next. So let's move on to Aokiji. This is someone I think is a little bit less... what's the word? Set in his ways? What's the word I'm looking for? Moody, appreciate you, bro. You made this list just to put Akainu over Rocks. I just can't prove it yet. No, bro. I'm genuinely not an Admiral Glazing guy. I'm not an Admiral Glazer. I'm not usually an Akainu Glazer, but looking at this list, I might be. Like, this is not intentional. Akainu is someone who's a little bit less set or a little bit less ambitious, a little bit less strong-willed as Akainu. I do think he has a strong will. I just don't think he's as strong of a will, and I think that's why he lost the 10-day battle. He's like, you know what, bro? You got it. Like, you want to fight 10 days for this position? All yours, bro. So, I think Aokiji could be maybe... I know he's above Kaido. I would put him above Kaido. Is he above Loki? I don't know about that. I don't even know about above Ryuma. Ryuma's really hard to scale again. It's tough with him. I'll put him above Kaido. Whatever drugs you did before stream, quit it, gang. Dude, I'm telling you, this is the most objective list on the internet. This is the most correct list you'll ever see of a One Piece power scaling of all time. I stand by that. I'm rage baiting. I swear I'm not rage baiting. This is what I believe, and this is the truth. The list makes no sense. Go ahead, point out which part of the list makes no sense, and I'll tell you guys why it makes sense. My guy loves Admirals more than his family. Hey, we're not even onto the Admirals yet. This is only Akainu, to be fair. This is not objective. This is the most objective list you could get. By the way, if you want to put Davy D. Jones in the 99 spot, that also works. I just didn't have a picture of him because there isn't one. So. Uta is canon. We're not ranking Uta. Uta is not in the top 30. I mean, maybe if we actually were counting Uta, we could probably put her in the top 30, but we're not counting her. You might get criticism and hate for this tier list, which can make you fall off. I mean, bro, this is what I believe. Like, I'm not gonna just, I'm not gonna just sit here and like lie about my tier list. This is what I believe. So, Sengoku is next. Sengoku has rubbed off on me as a little bit of a fraud, but I think that people are overestimating how much of a fraud he is. I don't think he's actually a fraud. I just don't think he's Garp level. I think Garp is definitely stronger. I think there's a reason why the top brass wanted Garp as Fleet Admiral and not Sengoku. However, although despite we have like no hockey feats of Sengoku, he does have a mythical Zoan. Gotta give it to him there. Other than that, though, he's someone that I think even Aokiji is stronger than. I think he's like realistically. I know we haven't seen much from Sengoku, but if we were to see Blackbeard and Sengoku 1v1, I think Blackbeard wins. I think Prime Rayleigh even has a chance of winning. Big Mom's beating him. Like, you get what I'm getting at here, right? Like, I just think that if we want to put him over Rayleigh because of narrative, that's fine. I think that's perfect right there. 94 overall is perfect. Is it overall Sengoku? Yes, it's the strongest version of Sengoku. You don't know Sengoku's clapping current Kuzan? I don't think so, bro. I don't think current Sengoku's got it like that. I don't think Prime Sengoku's got it like that. I think Aokiji's on a very similar level to Akainu. I just think that the gap between Aokiji and Akainu is small, but these characters just fit between them. All right. We're moving on to Fajita, a.k.a. Fujitora. That was a Blackstreet reference, if you guys know that. But Fujitora, what about Gaban? Gaban did not make the list, unfortunately. Which there's a good argument for what he should have been on the list, but I decided to not include him just because he's third on the Roger Pirates, and I was like, there's so many more interesting characters we can include. So, yeah. Moving on to Fajita. Fajita is, I think, very underrated. I think he's very underrated by the majority of people. This is someone that has insane observation haki because, number one, he needs to have insane observation haki as someone that's blind. But also, he has a Supreme Blade. He has Conqueror's haki, I'm assuming, because I'm going to assume all Admirals have Conqueror's haki. If they don't, I mean, what are we doing, Oda? Like, come on. He's got a really cracked Devil Fruit. The Gravity Fruit, guys. Gravity Fruit is insane. He gets absolutely mauled by Prime Rayleigh. I don't think he gets mauled by Prime Rayleigh. I think that's a little bit of an overstatement. I mean, guys, this guy's fruit is so destructive. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily mean he's good for 1v1s, but it's so destructive that he's not allowed to use it at Marijois because it would just blow the place up. It's kind of like Galaxy Impact. And I think he's a really good swordsman. I think he's up there. I think above Rayleigh is maybe a little too soon. But I could honestly see it. I'm going to put him right below Rayleigh. I think that's a really good spot. Like, I don't know if he could want... bro, I don't know, bro. See, now I'm thinking, like, Blackbeard is just too high, but it's also, like, bro. Like, we just don't know with Blackbeard. Because, like, if I were to see Fujitora versus Blackbeard on paper, I'd be like, okay, Fujitora is probably going to win. But it's also, like, just... we don't know enough about Blackbeard. I'm assuming narratively wise that he's on a similar level as Luffy, and so you're gonna see where I put Luffy, but yeah. Fuji 91 to 92, Blackbeard too low. See, there's an argument for him being too low. Like, it's very difficult with him. We're just gonna leave him where he's at for now. Okay, we're gonna leave him where he's at. Next up, we've got Kizaru. Before we bring up any feats at Egghead, can we all acknowledge? And I'm not even, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to sound like an Admiral Glazer, but I'm not one. Can we all acknowledge that Kizaru wasn't going all out? I know that doesn't mean much, but it's the truth. I don't think we saw the best version of Kizaru at Egghead because he was mentally nerfed. I know, I get it, but it's true. He didn't want to be there. He did not want to be there. That being said, I don't think he's on Aokiji's level. I don't think he's on I don't think he's on Kaido level. I know he said he could pull up at Wano and take out Kaido, but I don't think he's on that level. That would have been crazy. I think putting him at above Sengoku is very fair, to be honest. I think Sengoku is one of the. Well, I guess we don't know a bunch of the fleet admirals, but I think he's a weaker fleet admiral. I don't think he was that guy, right? I think Garp was the one who was supposed to be fleet admiral. So I'm gonna put Kizaru above Sengoku. I'm gonna put him. See, I could really see him beating. I could really see him beating Big Mom, to be honest. I really could. I think it's a really good. I think he's a hard counter for Big Mom though, and that's kind of an issue. Same for Blackbeard. Like he's kind of a hard counter. It's tough. I'm gonna go in between the two. Just because Blackbeard is, we don't know enough. Rayleigh hate is crazy. I don't think this is Rayleigh hate, bro. I just think that the people that he's up against are cracked, insane, strongest characters in the verse. I don't think it's Rayleigh hate. Swear to God, the Roger disrespect is insanity. Dude, you thinking Roger at 97 overall is disrespect? I have him above someone like Loki with literally every God-given ability and gift of all time. Roger, this is not Roger disrespect. If anything, this might piss you off, but I think this could be a little bit of a Roger glazed. I think that he could be slightly overrated. Exactly. I think Roger was more legendary and iconic than actual strength. That being said, he is still very strong. That's why we have him at 97 overall. Okay? But, bro, Loki not stronger than Roger? Listen, we haven't seen a Roger hockey feat that actually puts him in that Shanks level. And I get that him and Garp's combined attack took out an amped Rocks, yes. But Shanks' Wi-Fi hockey, I don't think people understand. Like, I used to be not a fan of it because it was like a Mihawk thing they used to slander him with. But I don't think people get that Shanks' Wi-Fi hockey is an insane feat that nobody else has ever done. Shanks copies Roger. Guys, Shanks learned Divine Departure by watching Roger. That's insane level of talent. Shanks has surpassed Roger by now. If you don't believe so, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I think that it's very clear narratively that he's surpassed Roger. Shanks stole Roger's hockey knot? Yeah, that's facts. That is facts. Shanks has better hockey control doesn't mean he's stronger. I mean, like I've said, my headcanon is that he's a descendant of the Joy Boy bloodline. And so I think that his hockey is just going to be unreal. It already is proven to be unreal. Next, we've got Green Bull. Green Bull, yes, sir. Green Bull. Well, you know, I do think Green Bull has a little bit too much hate because of the Wi-Fi hockey incident. Because speaking of the Wi-Fi hockey, yeah, Green Bull got Wi-Fi hockeyed and got sent to his knees. He got put on his knees. Yeah, not a good look. But I think we need to have a real conversation here about Green Bull. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Is this or is this not a Black Blade? I'm not, before you answer, I'm not saying this would put him above Shanks or anything like that, okay? I'm not saying it would put him even above Kaido. What I'm saying is that we're talking about someone with unreal Devil Fruit plus potentially a Black Blade. What do you mean no it's not? Guys, are we looking at the same screen? It might be inside the scabbard. That looks like a pretty sharp edge to me, bro. I don't think that's inside the scabbard. Let's zoom in on this here. Here, let me reset this actually. We'll just take a screenshot. Guys, that does not look like a scabbard. Look at how sharp this edge is. What do you mean that's the scabbard? Guys, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Do we not see this? That looks like a scabbard to you guys? That does not look like a scabbard to... Okay, this part kind of does, but this part does not. Like, guys... I think we need to have a conversation about it. Regardless, he did get hockey Wi-Fi hockeyed. Okay, I'll acknowledge that, right? So I'm not gonna say he's above. Like the highest I could put him is probably like realistically 93. But I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that. The sword cut off. Let's look for a different one. Let's look at this picture. No, that's not a good picture. Okay, this picture they have it as a white sword. Okay, so maybe it's not a black blade. It's very possible that it's not, but I'm saying in the magazine, it is a black blade. Unless that's the scabbard. I don't know. We calling that a bamboo blade? Yeah, either way, we're putting him at 93, so it doesn't really matter that much. But I just wanted to say, if he has a black blade, that low-key downscales Ryuma. Because that means, like, look, you got to be strong to have a black blade, but you don't got to be all that. No, I'm playing. All right, let's move on. He painted his sword black just like Mihawk. All right, bro. We're putting him at 93. Next up, we have Garling. And I know a lot of people are going to say Garling's a fraud. Why is he even in top 30? Guys, can we be for real? He was the commander of the Holy Knights. He's now a Gorosei member with crazy hacks. As much as you want to call him a bum, he got wrecked by who? Roxy Zabek, who's also a 98 overall. Like, guys... Fraudling, look, I get what you're saying, but guys, come on. He was up against Roxy Zabek. Plus, there's very much so potential that he was the one to scar Whitebeard, which I believe it's Shamrock that scarred him. But there is still potential that it was Garling. Okay? That's still very possible. And plus, he's got the Gorosei buff now. He's much stronger than he was at God Valley. I think God Valley probably made him realize that he actually needs to train and that just being a Fagarland doesn't automatically, with Emu powers, doesn't automatically make him the GOAT. Okay? I get that he's lost the hype and the aura because he got one tap by Rocks, but we got to be objective about this. He's still super strong. This is someone that I could see being... It's tough. I definitely think he's the strongest Gorosei. I think he's the strongest Gorosei, and that's not really a question. Same tier as Green Bull? Nah, I think you're undervaluing him a little bit. Prime or no prime, we're talking strongest version of Garling. Above Blackbeard, surely, though. Again, Blackbeard's really tough, but we could give him above Blackbeard. Why not? I don't mind. I think that's perfect right there. Last of 94, like it's very possible. Like I said, we didn't really get a good showing from Garling during God Valley. Garling injured Whitebeard. That's not confirmed. It very well could have been Shamrock. It very well could have been Shamrock. Miox Max, the old gen, thank you for spitting facts, brother. I appreciate that. So, yeah. I think Garling's very difficult because we didn't really get to see anything from him at God Valley. We just got to see him chasing around rocks and getting wrecked. If you're talking narrative, he has to be there, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could very well be even stronger because I don't know if you've got. I posted a theory a long while back, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about it. Garling Typhon. So, you guys know how hold on, let me pull up chat. So you guys know how Cerberus, Shamrock has the Cerberus fruit in his sword, and Luffy has, or not Luffy, Shanks has the Griffin sword, which we don't know if he actually has a fruit in there. I made a theory a long while back that because in Greek mythology, this guy named Typhon is the father of Griffin and Cerberus, that this would be his transformation when he becomes a Gorosei. Either that, or that his sword is literally Typhon and it transforms. Which would mean not only is his sword being able to transform, but also he's able to transform as a Gorosei member. Either way, I think there's no question that he's the strongest Gorosei member. I guess other people have found out about my theory I made. I made this theory a while back. I think it was like a year ago. But I talked about this, and I guess other people have decided to catch on as well. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about Typhon. That's awesome. He low-key looks like him. That even more of a reason why it's going to be this. Like, this is his fruit. So, hyping up Bumbling. Guys, look, I'm not saying he's got hockey comparable to Shanks or anything like that, okay? I don't think he's got that Joy Boy bloodline in him. I think that he's super strong and he's got hacks, but I wouldn't put him... Man, you could really argue, though, that he has Fenrir transformation, Typhon in his sword. Oh my gosh, that's probably what it is. He has the Fenrir transformation as a Gorosei member, but his sword is Typhon. Yo, we might have to put him above Kaido, bro. We might have to put him above Kaido. Wow. Loki is Fenrir? Oh, wait, that's true, too. It could be he's Fenrir. Man, I don't know, bro. Kaido snaps his ad. Okay. We'll leave him at 95. We'll leave him at 95. Next, we've got the Gorosei, not as a whole, like not all 5 of them combined, but on average, like the average Gorosei member, okay? That's what we've got next. And Kaido is top 1, you're tripping balls. Guys, I'm someone who used to believe that. Not anymore. I really do believe there's levels to this hockey stuff. I think Joy Boy's hockey not proved that. And we didn't see anything like that from Kaido. Gorosei, I do think that... I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I genuinely believe that an average Admiral could defeat an average Gorosei member. Like, I think Fujitora, if he 1v1s an Admiral, I think he's got strong enough hockey to take down an Admiral. I mean, a Gorosei member. Because if we're saying, like, bro, if we're saying someone like Gaban, who's not in his prime anymore, is able to damage Holy Knights, I don't see how an admiral, a current admiral, is not able to damage Gorosei members. They got good Conqueror's Haki though. I mean, yeah, they do have some crazy abilities. I think like, dude, the thing is like you could even argue they're below Green Bull. The average Gorosei member, I think, like I said, I think Garling's in a different category because of his sword, and I think that's why when Garling showed up to the Gorosei room, they were all like this, like bro, you just got buffed even more, and you're already kind of on our level. The real question is Shanks Haki strong enough to at least untransform a Gorosei member? I do think so. I think that's why the Gorosei in Film Red, although not technically canon, there's some canon elements. I think that's why they were so stressed as to why Shanks was no longer affiliated with the world government. He was no longer a Holy Knight. I guess as of right now, there's no real Haki feats from Green Bull. I'll put the Gorosei above Fujitora. How about that? I'll give you that. Although realistically, I really think that Fujitora could beat an average Gorosei member. Five Green Bulls at, yeah, think about it like this. Five Green Bulls at Egghead versus five Gorosei. I'm not gonna lie. Five Gorosei didn't like look, they did a lot of damage because they're just huge and massive. But I think five Green Bulls at Egghead, bro, we would have seen a lot more deaths. We would have seen a lot more deaths. Dude, let's think about the performance of the Gorosei at Egghead. Maybe it's just plot. Maybe Oda just held them back because of plot. But they really didn't do that well. There's five of them there. And I get they're distracted. They're doing other things. They're trying to stop the Vegapunk broadcast. But, bro, five Green Bulls at Egghead? Vegapunk would have been gone like this, bro. He would have been gone like this. The only reason why the Gorosei were even having somewhat of success is because Luffy doesn't know how to damage them. I will say, though, we don't know about Green Bull and Fajita's Haki enough to say that they'd be able to damage them. I'm just assuming they would be. We're going to put them above Fujitora for now, though. I do think Prime Rayleigh is stronger than the average Gorosei, though. I really want to put them at the bottom, though. Whatever, we'll leave them for now. Next up, we've got the main character. We've got Luffy. Yes, sir. Luffy, Gear 5, I think is very flawed. And I think that's why Gear 6 is going to be a real thing. I think that Gear 6, 6, 7, Oda, come on, do it. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that Gear 6 is going to be a thing. I do think he's going to improve his Haki because, like we just talked about, he can't even damage the Gorosei. Gear 5 minutes is a really good point. He does not last very long. Pause. So, my smile drops so fast. 40-year-old, by the way, I'm not 40, I'm 20. Above Kaido. There's a real argument for that. I don't know about above Kaido. I really don't. Like, let's think about this logically, right? Does it make sense for Luffy to already be able to beat someone like Garling? I don't think so. I don't think it would make sense for Luffy to be able to beat someone like Garling. I do think he's in the 95 overall tier. I do think he's stronger than Kizaru, despite the fact that Kizaru wasn't trying, which I get he wasn't. I think Kizaru versus Luffy, I think Luffy would win. Especially if we're going to assume that in Elbaf now he's gotten stronger and probably learned a little bit from Gaban, even though they haven't really done much. I think that if he's got a couple of those Elbaf fish sticks or whatever they are with him, he'll be able to fight for longer, which makes Kizaru very susceptible to losing. I think based off what we've seen, it'd be unfair to put him below Blackbeard just because we haven't seen much from Blackbeard, but it'd be unfair to also put him above Garling. I think this is a perfect spot for him right now. We haven't seen any good hockey from Kuzan, Ryuma, and Akainu, yet you put them all above. Yes, because we're talking narratively and what One Piece should be, what the ranking should be. If he fixes his stamina, he's a 96. I agree. He's inconsistent. Yeah, I will say, really weird. I think this was kind of a sell on Oda's part, actually, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's not a big deal. I think Luffy was kind of held back for plot at Egghead. Because what reason was there for him to not be using ACOG like at all times? I don't think he was using ACOG at all times. It was really weird. I think you know what it could have been is that Luffy realized that like Kizaru did not want to be there and didn't really want to fight him, and he kind of realized that Kizaru was probably not the baddest guy, and so he didn't want to actually hurt him. You know, I think that's very possible. Everyone in Egghead was held back by plot. I think that's a really fair take. Like, I don't think the Gorosei are going to be that disappointing when it comes to the end game. But, anyways, next up we've got Kozuki Oden. Probably one of the most overhyped characters of all time. I mean, he is just extremely glazed. The Oden Glazers are built different, bro. They are built different. You guys find a way to glaze Oden in every way possible. When this is someone who... It is respectfully got one-tapped by Roger. Okay. Now, Roger's a 97 overall, so he's not a bum. But, guys, we're not saying he's on a Kaido level. I get he fought Kaido, and he scarred Kaido. Doesn't make him Kaido level. He slaps the Gorosei. That's actually that's a good conversation to have. Does Oden beat an average Gorosei member? Is Oden's haki strong enough to be... Yeah, I think so. I think being able to wield Enma without it absolutely draining your haki, I think that's enough. And honestly, with that being said, I actually think we're going to move the Gorosei down. Like, nah, we can leave him. Yeah, we can leave him there. We can leave him there. Venus Juro's carrying their aura, though. Oden above Rayleigh at least? No, I don't think so. I think Rayleigh is stronger, and I don't think it's by much. I just think that... You know what? That's actually a really good point. Let me think about this. Because Oden is someone who had really good swords as well. Supreme Blade, or not Supreme Blade, but you know what I'm saying. He had good quality swords. And we don't know much about Rayleigh's swords. I'm going to assume, being right-hand man of the Pirate King, he's going to be stronger than Oden. Because I think even current level Zoro is going to be crazy. But I think even current level Zoro is pretty comparable to Oden. Like, I honestly was debating whether or not to include him on this list. I didn't, just because we're having Luffy already. And, I mean, you could honestly argue Zoro over Green Bull, but I'm not going to go there right now. So, I'm just going to say Oden is below Rayleigh for now. Anyways, we're moving on to Sabo. Sabo is really interesting. I don't think it's hard with him because we haven't really seen much. We saw him spar with Fujitora. Coward alert, he ran away? You really expected him to fight all five Gorosei and Emu? Come on, guys. Realistically, he should be at least a 99 overall. He was in the room with Emu and the Gorosei. No, I'm kidding. No. Um, he's the right hand man of our. He's gonna be dragon. I wouldn't say he's gonna be dragon level, but he's gonna be strong. I don't think he's gonna be as strong as a lot of people think. There's no way we just had someone say above rocks. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Above rocks, you're insane. I think right now in the story, Sabo is someone who's got. I'm gonna assume that in the spare time that since Dressrosa to now, he's awakened the Flame fruit. Which, by the way, we don't know what awakenings look like in Logia's, but I'm gonna assume that he's awakened it. If not, he's gonna awaken it very soon. I'm also gonna assume that he's got advanced hockey, right? Do we know is Sabo confirmed a Conqueror's user? Let me look into this. Is Sabo a confirmed Conqueror's user? No. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna assume he is a Conqueror's user, but we don't know, right? We don't know for sure. I think he's a 93 overall, guys. Like, I don't know if he's got hockey good enough yet. It's hard, bro. I don't know if he's got hockey good enough to take down even one Gorosei member. Him versus Green Bull is a really good debate. Bro got that Timu Conquerors hockey like kid. That's very possible. He's above Fuji, below Gorosei. Do you think he beats Fuji though? I honestly, from what I saw, I know it was just kind of like a spar between the two, but from what I saw, Fuji was dominating that fight, and he could have won if he really wanted to. That's what it seemed like to me. I think he's below Admiral level. I don't know if he beats Green Bull. Not yet. I mean, it's possible to beat Green Bull, but I don't think it's happening yet. I think he's got to upgrade his hockey. Sabo didn't really understand the flame fruit yet. That's true. When he fought Fuji, that is true. He was still new. He's had time since then. My question really is, does he have advanced hockey? And if he doesn't have conquerors, and we're assuming all admirals have conquerors, I think that's pretty significant. Not to say that you can't have conquerors and be a top tier, but it's more that Green Bull is someone with a really good devil fruit, just like Sabo, and also good hockey. I'm not going to say great hockey, but good hockey. No way we can assume all admirals have conquerors. I mean, guys, we can assume Akainu has conquerors. We can assume. I mean, maybe some of you guys won't agree with this, but I at least assume that Aokiji has conquerors. Garp has conquerors. Kizaru has conquerors. Sengoku has conquerors. Fujitora, I guess we don't know, but I'm assuming he has conquerors. Green Bull would be the odd one out. So maybe he is stronger than Green Bull because he doesn't have conquerors. But we don't know. I'm going to put him below Green Bull for now. I also think it's very possible that Fujitora is Akainu's brother. So we'll have to see about that. But I actually think that it's pretty likely. New admirals, you feel they don't have it? Yeah, it's possible. It is possible. All right, guys. Next up, and I had a really hard time deciding between Yamato or Zoro. I ended up going with Yamato just for some diversity in the character tier list. I feel like it's a little bit more different, but yeah, we've got Yamato, and man, it does feel really wrong putting Sabo this low, but it's I just gotta leave. I have to. I don't know about his hockey. I think Yamato is stronger than Sabo. We got a mythical Zoan. We got Oni endurance and durability, and we've got Conqueror's hockey. I think that's enough to make her Yamato stronger than Sabo. I think it's enough to even put her above Green Bull. I know it did seem like Green Bull versus Yamato kind of was going in Green Bull's favor, but I think if the fight was a little bit more drawn out, I think Green Bull would have got clapped. Actually, you know what? Let me look back at that fight. Yamato. You must not fight. You mustn't. You mustn't. Wait, why are you saying you don't? Okay, we can rely on Luffy and his friends. She wasn't even transformed in her wolf form, by the way. Show us the anime clip. Let's see. Yamato versus Green Bull. Okay, well, this is not. Maybe this can educate us. Get my One Piece knowledge from YouTube Shorts, literally. This is a really cool edit, by the way. Yes, sir! Yamato above Green Bull. There you go. I think that's enough. Firebreak Forest. I could hack it as an admiral if I was susceptible. This is tough, bro. W TikTok info. This is a really tough one. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know about this one. I just don't know. I think we can all agree that Yamato's above Sabo right now, at least. From what we've seen on screen, I don't think escaping the Gorosei is much of a feat. Like it's a feat, like don't get me wrong, but I mean Wapol also technically escaped the Gorosei, so like part of me thinks the Gorosei kind of let him escape because why did they not track him down later? Green Bull put Fuji in bandages? Really? Yamato has two big reasons for why she should be over Green Bull. Okay. And with that, we are putting a Yamato at above Sabo but below Green Bull. I think that's a good placement. I actually think that in that fight, Green Bull could have won. I think Green Bull could have won. I think that Shanks intervening with the fight kind of subtly signifies that Shanks was maybe expecting for Luffy and the rest of the crew to have to get up while tired and go fight Green Bull because Yamato and Momonosuke would not have been able to deal with him. You could say I'm misinterpreting that. That's fine. Whatever. But what I'm saying is that even if that's not true, I think that Green Bull versus Yamato is a really close matchup. Anyways, next we've got Shiki. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I should have probably included Zoro, not Shiki. Because Shiki's kind of just a bummy character to end this entire list on. Like, we're ending on Shiki. And I think we all know where Shiki goes, right? Should we just get Zoro in here? Let's get rid of Shiki, bro. Let's just get rid of Shiki, bro. Let's go. Let's add Zoro. Shiki fought a 2v1 with Prime, Garp, and Sengoku. Yeah, but anybody can fight a 2v1. Doesn't mean you did well in that 2v1. It does not mean you did well in a 2v1. I get that he escaped Impel Down. That's very impressive, you know. Do we really want to include Shiki in this list, or do we want to include Zoro? Who would we rather include, guys? Shiki or Zoro? He almost killed Roger? Is that true? I didn't know that. He's in 94. I mean, like, if you want to say he's in 94, that's fine. I don't think he's stronger than Sengoku, though. I think if Sengoku had to 1v1 him, I think Sengoku could beat him. It'd be extreme diff, but I think he could beat him. 96 or 97, I think you're tripping, bro. I think Big Mom could beat Shiki. Yeah, and he's one of those characters as well where we just don't have a lot of info on. We can add him. We'll leave him. Oh shoot. Oh god. What did I just do? Oh. Okay. I don't know what I just did, but all right. We're ending this with Shiki being above. I think he's above current Sabo. I think he's above. Again, we don't know Haki, but I think he's above Yamato. He is a legend in his own right. He could even be the Burn Scar man, to be fair. Like, we don't know. If he were to 1v1 Rayleigh, is he going to win? It's like we don't know his Haki. I'm going to put him right there. I think right below Sengoku is fine. I think this is an accurate top 30 list. The most subjective one on the entire internet. Above Kizaru at least? How, bro? What do you mean? Is it really stated that he almost killed Roger? Let me look this up. Did Shiki almost kill Roger? Yes, the Golden Lion nearly defeated Goldie Roger and his crew during the Battle of Ed War. Shiki 50 plus ship feet. Okay, guys, he had 50 plus ship feet versus fleet versus one Roger ship. Okay, let's acknowledge that. A sudden storm crippled his forces, okay, and allowed Roger to escape. Closest to anyone came to defeating the Pirate King before his execution. Shiki was considered Roger's equal, capable of challenging him and even Marines like Garp and Sengoku. Holy glaze, bro. Who did this AI overview? Okay. Okay. We can put him. Okay, no. Shiki does not equal Roger plus Rayleigh plus Gaban. Let's calm down. Remove Sabo for Gaban? No, bro. We're not adding Gaban. Like we can, I think we can all get that Gaban is probably currently stronger than Sabo, but I also just don't see like it wouldn't be interesting to have Gaban on here just because. I mean, yeah, I guess it's not technically then the top 30 strongest because we don't have Gaban, but I think that Rayleigh being here is kind of like Gaban being here. Like we can acknowledge that Rayleigh and Gaban are pretty much on the same level. So that's why I only have Rayleigh there. So you could say that this is Rayleigh and Gaban. Maybe Gaban goes right below Odin. Okay. Shiki though, we gotta place him maybe a little bit higher after what I just read, because I mean that's kind of crazy. I think he actually would beat Sengoku based off what I just read. Maybe in a 1v1, I think he wins. I don't think he could beat. Mm, honestly, let's run a poll. I don't know where I put him for this one. I'm gonna run a poll. You guys know more about Shiki than me for this one, so I'll let you guys decide. Better not be some BS. Okay. We're running a poll 96, 95, 94, 93. Let's see what you guys decide. Ain't no way 95 is winning. Okay. Okay. I have him in 95 currently, so. How is Hockey Not Merchant top 5? Shanks is not a Hockey Not Merchant, bro. I know it is for the jokes he is, but realistically he's like that. All right, seems like 95 has won. All right, he's gonna go 95. Are we thinking above current Luffy? I don't think he's above Luffy right now. But maybe if you guys think that, then I can go that high. But I don't think he is. Are we thinking above Kizaru? I feel like Kizaru could honestly win. Above Big Mom seems fair. I just joined. Where's Chopper? Bro. Both Big Mom and Shiki are above Kizaru, TBH. I don't think so. I think Kizaru could have beat Big Mom. We can put Shiki above Big Mom, sure. Although I really think we're underrating Big Mom now because I think Big Mom is a little bit closer to Kaido than we're giving credit for. But I wouldn't be mad if you guys are saying Shiki's like that. So I'm going to trust you guys on that one. You are underrating Big Mom. She does not beat Kizaru. I think here's the thing too. Kizaru is kind of like the direct counter for Big Mom. It's just what it is. That being said, I still think he's stronger overall too. I don't think it's just because he's a direct counter that he wins. I think he's just stronger. Maybe not physically stronger, but you get what I'm saying. Kizaru does not have the power to put Big Mom down. I think you're underrating Kizaru. I think you're underestimating him. Lost against Law and Kid. She's not beating Kizaru. To be fair, Law and Kid did not technically put down Big Mom. They just kind of knocked her off into a volcano. But I will say the fact that she didn't like handily and just easily beat them is kind of not a good look. I'm not going to lie. And maybe it's just for plot, but I think Kizaru could have beat Law and Kid. Is not a number one. Whitebeard is not going to number one, buddy. We're putting Shiki there, and I think that's it. We're calling it. This is the official top 30 strongest One Piece characters of all time. There's no debate, really. This is just the most accurate list of all time. Where's Gaban? Gaban is on a similar level to Rayleigh. We don't need to put him on the list. I think we can all acknowledge that he's on the list without being on the list. If anything, he's right below Oden, which... I mean, yeah, he could be either right below or above, but I'd say a little gap is kind of funny because it pisses Sanji fans off. And I'm a Sanji fan, but I don't get pressed like they do. So, the other character we could have included here is Davy Jones. I would have put Davy Jones above Mihawk. I would have put him at 99 overall. Where's Ace? Nowhere near this list. Nowhere near. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and let me know what other things you want me to rank, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Actually, no. And let me know. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know what other videos you want me to do. If it's a ranking, or if it's some sort of challenge, or if it's anything, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace! Alright, that was for the video, not for the stream. Am I playing Blox Fruits after? No. We're not playing Blox Fruits. This is the official top 30, though. Take a screenshot of this. Post it. Make sure everybody knows this is the top 30. Where is Peckham's, bro? Stop. Where is Morgan? He beat up Garp. Stop, bro. Fexer, are you... Spedis boy, I'm neither, bro. I'm literally neither. Fexer is Jewish. No, I'm not. Why does Spedis boy keep spamming that? What do you mean liar? I've already told you guys what I am. I'm Arab. Why is Akainu so high? Narrative. That's what I'll say about that. You guys just sent me something to react to. Hope you're proud of yourselves, guys. Good one. Mihawk does not use black paint. Which One Piece character, in your opinion, would fit a low taper fade? I think a lot of characters could rock the low taper fade. I think Mihawk could rock the low taper fade very well. I think Garp could. Akainu. Roxy Zabek. You say narrative for Akainu, but Blackbeard is so low? I don't think he's so low. I think he's where Luffy is. I think, you know what? If we wanted to swap Luffy and Blackbeard, that's fine. But I think they're on a similar level right now. I think they progress at a very similar rate. So I think they're on a similar level. Certified Akainu Glazer? Dude, this is not Akainu Glaze. I'm just spitting facts that people are just not ready to hear. People are just not ready to hear it. I'm going to post this list on Twitter and see absolute chaos happen. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys are not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter or X. I've just started posting on there recently, so I don't really have much of a following, but yeah. What Arab am I? I'm Assyrian, but I'm technically my parents from Iraq. Akainu is around Assyrian, by the way, not Syrian. Assyrian. I don't think I will. You don't want to follow me on Twitter? Why? This is the best takes of all time. Muslim or Christian? Muslim. I mean, not Muslim. Christian. I don't know why I said that incorrectly. Christian. I was born in the States, so. We need to rebel against a Akainu narrative. No, we don't. It's just facts. Convince you to follow me? Bro, I'm not going to try to convince you to follow me. If you don't want to follow me, you don't have to. You have free will. Do whatever you want. Why am I going to convince you? If it's not something that you want to do. I only want people to do things that's good for them. Which following me is good for you because you're going to be up to date on your One Piece knowledge and things like that. But if that's something you truly do not want to be, then, I'm not going to hold you to it. Domi reversing them into following you? I'm trying to reverse psychology him. Give me a feat. I can't give you a feat that puts Akainu above. I'm just going to, the source is literally trust me, bro. That is the source for Akainu. It's literally just trust me, bro. So you're going to have to just put faith in me on this one because narratively it makes sense. W-List, didn't think you'd be this objective. Thank you, bro. I literally said this is the most objective list. And I think people are going to see that Mihawk is top 3. And they're going to be like, bro, you are not being objective, bro. Bro, I am being objective. You guys are not objective. You guys are the ones saying that Mihawk's a fraud. How is that objective to say Mihawk's a fraud? What are we even talking about? I think we should have added Davy Jones. I think that's the one flaw. Davy Jones, One Piece. On this list. I think we could have added Davy Jones. We can use this image for Davy Jones. I don't mind. What? Screenshot wasn't automatically saved? What the Is that supposed to be Domi rocks? No. That is base rocks. Or not base, but, you know, prime rocks. Strongest version of rocks. That's not Domi reversied. Okay, I guess for some reason I'm not able to screenshot. This is Davy D. Jones, which is weird, but whatever. Oh, wait, we do have a picture of Davy Jones. I forgot. This is Davy Jones, right? Okay. This is Davy Jones? He's kind of a bum. Like, this guy does not exactly look physically, you know, intimidating. He looks tiny. What the... Okay, whatever. This is Davy Jones. Are we serious? Okay. Uh-huh. Sure. Dude, why are these screenshots not working? Jesus, bro. All right, let's do that. All right, now we can add him to the list, and we could probably get rid of Sabo, to be honest. Or we could add Gaban and get rid of Sabo and Yamato, if that's what you guys want to do. There. Where's Gaban? Oh my gosh. Everybody's going to say that in the video too. I already know. Everybody in the video is going to be like, where's Gaban? I stated it in the video. Hopefully the editor does not cut it out because I'm not going to edit the video. But I didn't include Gaban because he's pretty much like what? He's like a Rayleigh equal, right? He's a wing of the Pirate King. So I was like, well, I'm not going to include him. He's going to be the same level as Rayleigh. So I'm just going to put him like, you know, it's like he's implied. He's implied to be right there. But I already know there's going to be comments. Maybe that's good engagement bait, though. W engagement bait, I guess. You should do a 24-hour stream for all the One Piece characters. That is just AIDS. No. Why? Aokiji over Kuzan? I know people are gonna get on you for that. I know, bro. It would feel like repetitive to just include Gaban though, because it's like, why would I include him? I don't know. More comments. It was planned. Yeah, it works in my favor. Let me see if the screenshot is working now. It's not working. I don't know what's going on with screenshot. Include Crocus. Crocus was never going to be included in the first place, okay? Let's keep that 100%, you know. It just was never going to happen. Guys, by Where's Boa? She no diffs Roger, guys. Guys, that does not count. I don't think Roger in a serious battle is getting no diffs by Boa. I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I just don't. And even if that's true, I think the Boa case is just a special case, like someone just said in the chat. You should do a looks ranking. Bro, you know what's actually hilarious about what you just said? I have in my phone notes a looks maxing ranking. Because looks maxing is like super popular right now. I have in my notes I was going to do a One Piece looks maxing ranking. Robin top one? Maybe. I think Nami's better, but it's preference, I guess. Men and women separately? I haven't really thought that far about it, to be honest. I haven't. I just had it in my notes that I was going to do it. Why'd I put Rock so low? I don't think he was able to reach his potential. And I also mentioned that I don't know if Rox has a devil fruit or not. And I think that could also move him up if he does. However, as of right now, we're not including the Domi Reversied Rocks because that's technically his peak. But we're not counting that version of him. Where is Kong? I mean, Kong is too irrelevant to include on this list. We could have included him, though. That's very fair. That is actually a good point. I didn't even think about him, to be honest. I probably should have included him. Because it would have been an interesting character to try to rank. Akainu's a rocks victim? Let's calm down. Akainu is not a rocks victim. Akainu ain't just that normal bummy admiral that rocks can just murk. Okay. Rocks equals Harold and Mihawk. I mean, bro, he's on the same tier. It's not like we moved him to 97. Like, guys, I know you guys see that Rocks is below Mihawk, but it's not like by a lot. I get there's four characters in between the two, But I think you catch Mihawk on a bad day, I think Rocks wins. Like that's what we're talking about here. Like the margin of error is very small when you get to these upper echelons. It's when you move a whole tier or two tiers, it's like okay, they can significantly defeat them. Like if we're talking Mihawk versus Aokiji, I think Mihawk wins 9 out of 10 times, right? But if we're talking Goldie Roger versus Roxy Zebek, I think Roger wins 4 out of 10 times, maybe even 5 out of 10 times, you know? If we're talking Shanks versus Whitebeard, again, I think Shanks wins maybe 6 out of 10 times, 6 or 7 out of 10 times. Like I don't think it's still close. Like, let's think about it like this. Akainu and Aokiji battled for 10 days straight before there was a winner. And there's this many characters in between them. That should show you that the gap between the two is not that big. But it is still big enough where characters can fit in between, like these characters, because narratively it makes sense for them to be stronger than Aokiji, but not stronger than Akainu. Move Kuzan to 97. There's a really good case for that, but I'm not going to. Loki versus Rocks is not close, low bro. How? When you realize that Mihawk and Dragon have no named attacks in the story. Yet. Yet. Keyword. Yet. You don't think they will? Like, come on. You don't understand why Joy Boy is lower than Emu? This is based on my assumption. Based on my assumption that Luffy and Blackbeard are going to fight Emu at the end of the series. And then Luffy's going to fight Blackbeard after that. But Luffy and Blackbeard are going to fight Emu at the end of the series. I'm assuming that what happened in the past is that Joy Boy and Davy Jones tried to fight Emu and both failed. Now, maybe they lost because they actually didn't work together. That's a case that I could understand. But my assumption is that they did work together and still lost. Okay. That being said, that would mean that they're both weaker than Emu. Do I believe Mihawk is related to Emu in any way? Yes, I do. I believe Mihawk is a Nerona descendant, Nerona family descendant. And if he's not, I'm starting to question some things because I used to believe that Mihawk was a holy knight and that was why he got his eyes. But I honestly don't think that's why he got his eyes. I think he's just a Nerona descendant. However, there is a really popular theory that Rayleigh and Shaki had Mihawk. I don't know if I believe it. There's some evidence to it. Not that there's no evidence, but I think that it's more likely he's a Nerona descendant. And actually, he was like a Nerona descendant that was kind of left to be a slave, essentially. So here's the issue I have. And there's really good evidence that Mihawk was a slave. So either he was a slave and became, but how would he be a slave if he's a Nerona descendant? How would he be a slave if he's Rayleigh's son? It's like none of it really makes sense. None of it really makes sense. Boa upscale. Boa could have been on this list. Would have been close. Would I want to run into IRL? That's so random. Okay, let me try to get a screenshot of this. Still, bro? Am I ginger? What? How do I look ginger in any sort of fashion in this lighting? No, I'm not. Can I join the Dark Council? What the heck does that even mean? Am I Hispanic? No. I am Middle Eastern, 100%. Hold down the image and then click on download when it pops up. Okay, let me just save images and we'll just do it like this. Oh, but this is stupid. I don't want to do it like that. We'll do this. Save image as, and we'll do Gabon. Okay. Dude, where is this image saving to? This is so stupid. Where is this image? Okay, well, I guess Gabon's just gonna have to take the L because the image won't save. I think I ran out of storage on my PC. Actually, let me try one more time. Save image as. Let's go to storage D. I know I have some space in here, right? Gabon. And the image is still not here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know. Well, all right, can we agree that Fexer and Mihawk are related, bro? Bro. Like, are we serious, bro? Bro, I can't believe you say that, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. Bro. The official No Debate 2025 official ranking One Piece tier list. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trust who? Trust me and I can set you free. Joy Boy should be 100. You're glazing Joy Boy, bro. Emu Glaze is not. Emu won. Guys, no matter what you say, Emu won the war. Top 31 to 50 strongest One Piece characters. We could do an extended version. That is not a bad idea. Raekwon is coming for that nose, bro. Mr. Beast just posted, should I watch One Piece? I'm scared it's so many episodes. No way. We got Mr. Beast on One Piece before GTA 6. This is unreal, bro. Oh, what up, Leo? Someone in chat was talking about you. On the Twitch side. RDR2? What the heck is RDR2? My Wi-Fi won't let me stream or even launch Roblox. It's making me want to come, bro. I know One Piece is not that long. Like I know it's long on paper, like 1,000 episodes, but bro, when you actually start watching it, it goes by way too fast, and then you're like, dude, I wish I didn't finish the whole show because now I can't watch anything. So what should we do now? Should we play some unheard of Roblox One Piece games? Or should I just end stream? Where's my comment on the Mr. Beast? I haven't posted it yet on Twitter, but I'm going to say yes, you should. Zaddy. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say yes. Watch it now. What? I just saw someone say Loki equals squirrel theory. What did I just... Okay, sure. It seems like a lot, but once it's over, you'll wish there's more. Oh, wait. I didn't include Kobe. You could honestly argue Kobe over Sabo. Maybe I'm stretching that a little bit too much, but dude, I don't even think that's crazy. Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, I've actually heard it's really good. At least Kobe has conk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cry stream? What are you talking about? Cry stream? Why? What? What, bro? Cry stream? cut onions, dude. What? Emu looks like a paintbrush. Not gonna lie. Maybe it is a paintbrush. I'm not sure what you would want me to say to that. Try not to glaze Mihawk challenge, dude. I don't even glaze Mihawk. What color is blue, gang? What does that even mean? What do you mean, what color is blue? Watching Fexer play RDR2 would be peak. Really? Is it really that good of a game? I heard it's good. I didn't know it was like that good. What is it even about? I really did not mean to add Shiki twice, but whatever. Oh no, what did I do? Go back. Oh god. I'm gonna kill myself. Well, it's fine. I guess it doesn't really matter. I already got the screenshot, so. You didn't add Ryuma? Ryuma was on the list. Ryuma was on the list. I think we're gonna end it for tonight, but maybe we can play a little bit of Roblox before. Is there any good One Piece games out on Roblox? IRL Doofus, thank you for following on Twitch. Appreciate that. Rel C's, yeah, good one. Get Red Dead now. We're not going to get Red Dead right now. Come on. We're not going to get it right now. I need to know what it's even about. It's One Piece level of peak. You're hyping it up a lot. I'm just saying. I don't want it to be underwhelming. Yes, sir. Hope you guys like my avatar. We just got it. It's a upgrade. We're gonna be, by the way, we are gonna be doing a. Oh yes, if you guys don't know, for one of the giveaways that we're doing tomorrow or on Christmas, it is gonna be whoever can make the most accurate avatar that looks like me, but also my favorite characters like Mihawk or Loki and people like that, maybe even Shanks a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, Shanks is kind of cool. But whoever can make the most accurate avatar to, let's say, this photo will win the giveaway. Yes, sir. I will make your nose as big as possible. You're not winning the giveaway. Nope, you're already banned. AI said no, it isn't. Well, why are you listening to AI's take on whether or not Akainu is the strongest Marine of all time? I think that's where you first went wrong, to be honest. Bumhawk. Hayden Hallmark, your band. Appreciate that. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One Piece. Let's see the best One Piece game. Dude, why can't Rel C's just drop, bro? It's so bad. Run Jujutsu Shenanigans. I don't want to play Jujutsu Shenanigans. I really don't. Why is this sponsored? Oh, wait. Control rework dropped. We might have to try that. Yes, they... Grand Piece? Is Grand Piece even good, bro? Or is it just a One Piece knockoff? Same thing with King Legacy. I'm pretty sure it's a One Piece knockoff. Play Poop a Big Poop. There is no way that's a real thing. Steal a One Piece? That's a real thing too? No way. It came up. It's a real thing. What are we doing? What are we doing? God. What are we doing, bro? What could we possibly be doing in Poop a Big Poop besides pooping? Explain RDR to me. Go for it. Okay, well, all roads lead to Black Fruits. Dude, it's so bad. I actually need to stop. Like, this game needs to be taken down, bro. Can someone please just make a One Piece game that's just a little bit better instead of just copying them? Like, this is not even a One Piece game anymore, bro. God. I do have a control fruit, so. Ooh, they made the UI better. Nice. Build? What is this? Oh, this is a cool UI. You know, I like it. In RDR2, he is in a gang in the year 1899. Outlaw is coming to end. Oh, there's an actual story to it? Okay. I actually might do that then. Trinket? What the heck? You have 7 controls? Jesus, bro. Alright, we're going to try the control. I don't even think I have... Yeah, no. I need to level it up a little bit. Good girl? What do you... Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are we talking about? Are there any new islands for this update or no? Good, obedient little girl. Okay. 6, 7 controls. Good one there, Hayden. I now want to wash my eyes out with bleach. Click M1. Oh, there's an M1 for it? Dude. Why do they give every fruit an M1? It's just not even... Like, everything's just OP now. Oh my gosh. Whoa, what just... How do I even use this? I don't even know what I'm doing in this domain control. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? Okay, now what? What is going on? Okay, this is stupid. I don't like this fruit. There's always dagger mode, shoddy. I've never used this fruit in my life. Drag them down? Oh, okay. Dark rework is coming out? No way. That'll be sick. Oh, wait. Dude, you get like crazy. Holy cow. When you're in the thing. RDR2 trailer? Nah. We're not going to watch that right now. We'll save that for a different day. flash step in the domain. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know how to flash step. What is the button for flash step? R? Oh, there we go. That was kind of cool. What up, Mr. Man? What's good? Press R. Yeah, that's what I did. It worked. When did you start watching One Piece? I think I started in... I want to say... when did I start? 2022 or 2021? One of those years. 2022 or 2021. I don't remember exactly. No, I need the mastery, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. What is transmutation? Okay, that's kind of cool. And we got a dragon fruit user. Yes, sir. Where does this even rank? Okay, it's a 4K Robux fruit. It's still pretty strong. It's not... Is that Kitsune level? It's above Kitsune. Wow. That's pretty cool. Oh my... Yo! That's sick. What's good, Desgabur? What's good? When is RelSeas dropping? Apparently in 2026, but they said that last year, so I don't know. Fixer, I need this. Blacksmith's so ad now. I mean, I'm trying out the control rework. Control seems pretty cool. I don't have all the moves unlocked yet, though, so we'll see. But I do agree. There needs to be a new One Piece game to step up. Can you stop shooting me with your frickin' meteors, please? I'd appreciate it. True Milkman, what's good, bro? Merry Christmas, Fexer. It literally did the panel, unfortunately, is being gate kept on... What? That's not what he said. What did he say? I remember you promising me a perm fruit last Christmas when the rework came out. Hey, if you want one, I got you. We'll do it on Christmas, though, so it can be during the Christmas giveaway. I appreciate the dono. Stop paying Fexer. He doesn't deserve this. I've always told you guys, you never have to give me anything. I appreciate it, though. Genuinely. You guys being my subscribers is enough. What you say? What you say? It's Fruit Battlegrounds. Is there even progression in that, or is it just straight up just you just fight with devil fruits? I think that's what I remember it being. I like a game with some progression. That's the thing. Christmas challenge is you have to make an avatar, a Roblox avatar for me to purchase. And you can either make it look exactly like me, you can make it look like me plus maybe one of my favorite characters like Mihawk or Loki or Shanks. Or you can make it look like the Shankser, the Shanks Fexer, where it's me in the Shanks fit. So, whatever looks the most accurate and the best, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, bro, if you want progression, you know Hypixel Skyblock. Shut up about Skyblock, Doomster. It's not happening. Maybe we can't start the SMP, though. Fexer D Goon? What? Why? Where the heck did the guy go? One Piece SMP, please, I'll be the king. That'd be a fun series. Would you guys watch that series if I posted that as like long form content on YouTube? Leo is deaf under the table. Leo is not under the table, bro. Bro. You guys are wild. You gave me muffins last October? What are you talking about, muffins? Do I know you IRL? Top 10 would watch? Okay. I'll consider it then. For sure. What did this guy say? Shanks with facial hair? I'm pretty sure Shanks has my exact facial hair, bro. He has a goatee. Include Leo? I would do it if he's down. Honestly, yeah. I'm down. We can have it a little bit more scripted than what I was trying to do with the lore server. I just don't think what I was trying to do played out. I think if we're going to do it, there needs to be some sort of script. Obviously, the outcome won't be scripted, but there needs to be some sort of progression. That way, things like go according to a plan. Maybe it doesn't go too deep to the T, but at least it'll go to a plan. Can I deliver fried chicken to you? I'm not going to give you my address, but hey, I'm always down for some fried chicken, so yes, you can. Oh, by the way, I am going to be opening a P.O. box. So, if you guys want to actually send me stuff, I've decided I'm going to do it, and I actually have a P.O. box ready to go. So, if you guys want to send me stuff, join the Discord, and we're going to do Fan Fridays. Once a month on Friday, I'll collect all of the fan stuff that's been sent in, and we're going to do a review. So you guys can send me, I don't know, One Piece cards. I'm just playing. I've been on the One Piece card grind right now, so that's why I'm thinking about them. You can send me literally anything you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be anything of note. When I say of note, I mean of note. Like that, like dollars. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just send me something you think is interesting. It could be a drawing. It could be something that you made. That's it. People are going to send shite. Okay, well, I'm going to be honest. That won't be included. Actually, I would probably include it because that's good content. Okay, maybe not anything. We're going to have some restrictions. No live animals. No bugs. No biohazards. Okay? No biohazards. Nothing containing your DNA. Let's go like that, okay? Here's the issue. I'm flipping broke. You don't got to send anything. You don't have to. It's just an option. And if you do want to send something and you're broke, I mean, you can make a drawing. I think shipping is like $4. If you can't afford that, then yeah, definitely don't send anything. You got some bigger priorities to prioritize. He'd have yeah, I know. Leo would, definitely. Fan Art Friday? How would that work? We just do a fan art review every Friday? If I send you... No, I won't drink or eat anything you guys send me. I will not. I do not. I do not trust you guys. Sorry. 30K lighters? I don't know what lighter you're talking about, but I know there's a Sanji lighter that I've seen that looks really cool. Can we send Nami plushies? Like, bro, I guess, bro. It's that one picture. Like, I guess, bro. Like that. I guess, bro. You know what? Let me find the address. The address. And I can post it in the Discord. Wait, I'm gonna send a nuclear reactor. What are we doing? Why are we trying to start World War III over here? It has the clicking noise. I don't know if it has the clicking noise. I've just seen a video of it with volume off. Who donated you that 100K Robux? So apparently there's a guy named Alan in the Discord who I think he owns a game called Anime Crusaders on Roblox. What up, Tempest? I'm good. How about you? He owns an anime Roblox game. And I guess he's like a Roblox millionaire because he popped into a stream. Apparently he's a fan of the channel. And he just donated 100K. And actually, originally he was like, yo, I want to give you 10K. And I was like, bro, 10K, that's going to help for the Christmas giveaway. I'm going to be able to do so much. And then he was like, oh, you're doing it for a giveaway? I'll give you 50K. And then he was like, bro, let's actually just do a coin flip for 50K or 100K. And if you win the coin flip, I'll give you 100K. I lost the coin flip. And he was like, whatever, I'll give you 100K. So he gave me 100K. I was like, bro, this guy's got motion like that where he's just giving people 100K Robux. That's insane. Let me try to find the... Where is it, bro? Address. Okay, before I post it, I need to verify that this is not my home address. No, wait, that's not my home address. I know my home address. What am I talking about? I need to verify. Okay. This address is good. I'm posting it in the Discord server, so if you guys want to ever send me anything in a P.O. box, there you guys go. Please, Fexer, I need this. My shop is kind of permless. That's a creative one. I'll give you that. You know, that's a creative one. Wow. Okay. I sent you this guy. I sent the PO box in the announcements of the Discord. It is. Oh, I sent it. You guys can look at it. I'm not gonna read it out loud. Okay. All right. It's literally to some. It's like to a UPS store, that it's like a little. It's literally a box. Like, I mean, you guys could try to pull up, I guess, but you're not. You're gonna find, not me. You're gonna find nothing. So. Guys, it's not an obligation. You're not obligated to send me anything, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. You don't have to send me anything. It is literally for only those people who want to. And if you do, you'll be a part of something called Fan Friday, where I do the opening once a month. Unless we're getting packages like this, like over and over, then I have to change it to once a week. But we'll see. I don't know how this will work at all. Can I send a tub of uranium? I'm pretty sure I said no biohazards. I think that's like the thing with the triangle and like the skull emoji, or the thing with the radioactive symbol, right? Like, let's not, bro. Plutonium. Okay. We've got these rare earth minerals and materials that I didn't even know you had. Like, how do you have these, bro? How? What you say? I don't want to hit everyone with the at everyone, but I kind of do want to let everybody know that this is a thing that you can do now. Top 10 favorite characters in One Piece. Mihawk, obviously. Sanji. Ooh, Dofi. Shanks. Shamrock. Even though he's still new. Loki, obviously. Almost forgot. Who else? Zoro. Law. I could see Law being in there. Who else? Nami. Why not? Just do that. Sure. Fave Nami outfit, bro. I don't even know. Maybe that. Oh wait, I do know. I think there's a One Piece movie where she's like, I don't know, in some sort of beach clothing. Probably that. What did Andy do? Did you know they call me the Unibomber back in the day? Guys, can we please not be sent any bombs in the mail? Okay? Let's not go with anything explosive or destructive or anything that's going to injure anyone, okay? No biohazards, like I said, please, okay? Keep those to yourself. Let's just do something that is entertaining, okay? It can be entertaining, just not extremely, weird. Weird is fine, just not harmful. What about my? Okay, I'm not even gonna read that. Can I send a jar of farts? Dude, I will not be opening that jar. I can tell you that much. Vexer, if I just post a thing on my account with my Mihawk drawings and I at you, will you look at it? I'm pretty sure we have a section for art in the Discord. Just at me in it, and yeah, I'll take a look. What's the Discord? It is a link in my bio. If you go to Twitch and you click my channel, there's a Beacons link, and the Beacons link has the link to my Discord. I need to merc Big Mom for XP. We on the new COD? What? What are you talking about, COD? Oh, you don't have Discord? Oh, okay. Then I don't know where would you show me it then? Actually, you know what? I think in YouTube, now when you go to my community, there's a way to put a post. You can put a post, apparently, in my community. So I could probably view it there. You can walk on water? Oh, wait, with control? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. No way Nico's on. Oh, what up, Nico? Discord link is a link in my bio, Milkman. You can join through the link in my bio. There's a Beacons link. You click that, and then you take the Discord link. Click the Discord link within it. AOT, the best anime of all time. It's definitely up there. Honestly, if people want to say it is, I'm not going to argue with it. Dude, can you move the ship? Jesus. I had to go to YouTube, but I'm in it right now. Oh, okay, perfect. Sorry, I don't know why. Maybe the link in my Twitch is different? I don't know. Did you watch AOT? I mean, if you want to watch Peak, yeah. If you want to miss out on Peak, no, I guess. Can I send you a jar of pickles? Guys, you can send whatever you'd like as long as I said it's not harmful, a biohazard, or extremely inappropriate. How about that? We can add that one in there. Favorite character in AOT? I mean, I know it's basic, but Eren. Eren is by far my favorite character. It's not even close. It's probably very basic, but it's just what it is. I've not seen Vinland Saga, actually. I've heard it's very good, though. Guys, where's the Big Mom place? I'm lost. Also, I haven't gone to the Sea of Treats yet, so I don't know. Have I seen Hunter x Hunter? I have not. I haven't. I feel like I watched like an episode and I was like, yeah, I'm good. But not that it's bad, it's just like I didn't really give it a chance. Why am I not reading your chat? What did you say? I'm gonna send you my. Okay, bro. And that's why I'm not reading your chat, buddy. Yes, sir. Good one. Oh, transmutation. Dang, that was a lot. That went high. She's not there, bruh. It's a good thing I have like 100k Robux, right? Yes, I know I'm using a little bit of the giveaway money. Sorry, but this is to save time here. I do not know how to use this fruit at all, dude. How old is your Spotify? I opened some OP13. You got SP Gold Rat? No way. That's sick. Where's emergency food? What do you mean, where's emergency food? You talking about my dog? You're talking about Chopper on the tier list? Like, what are you talking about? Have I done any damage at all? This is bad, bro. Am I even gonna get the kill for this? Okay, I got... Okay, yeah, good. Perfect. I was gonna say, bro. Would have been tragic. Slice and dice. Interesting. Wait, guys, why is the damage not showing up on my screen? Do you guys know why? Is that like a settings thing? They changed settings? Okay. I'll take a look at it then. Settings are way better now? Okay. Wait, so are there no damage things on the screen at all? Where the heck is Big Mom? She outside? Oh my gosh. I think she is. Oh my... What is going on, bro? Look at the bar. I don't know what bar. And we're about to die. Yes, sir. And we're dead. Okay. I think we did enough damage. Okay. Oh no, not that. Not that. Camera inverted? No. Which one is it? I don't see it. I got the buddy sword? No way. Oh, it's this one. Okay, okay. Damage counter on. Oh, I see. Okay. Can I remove the pole? Oh, yeah, I forgot that's still up. I know, bro. They need to drop LCs ASAP.